I can't be quiet anymore. I can't keep watching anymore. What's dear to me is dear to my God. I can't shed more tears, I know it's time to fight. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let's be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best. Punished for protecting them. Where is the justice in all that? Our voices rise because our love is deep. Return the innocent, hear our hearts beat, hear our hearts beat. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let's be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let's be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let's be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best.
Just please stop yelling at me, please.
Call 911 now!
Oh, that's when it stopped. I never fixed. I never fixed the video. Welcome to Punished for Protecting Live. Welcome, Francesca Amelia Banfield.
Hey, thank you, Ted, again, and Amato. A-M-A-T-O.
Amato, tomato.
Yeah, some people say that it supposedly means love in Italian, but I know that would be amore, so I don't know, maybe it's the way some people pronounce it, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, so we're on today. We want to discuss a few things. We do have a special guest named John Gear. He's the grandfather of a little girl. He actually did viral, or a ton of billboards, spent quite a fortune to save his granddaughter, and unfortunately, she did pass away. We may not be able to have him aired right away today if we do not have him on at the 1 o'clock show, or actually, with the way things are going today, a little bit later this afternoon. He will be on tomorrow. So just please bear with us. We do apologize. Sometimes we have to literally pull these things together. I was actually on the phone today. I was contacted via Georgia ABC News Channel 6 earlier this morning. So I had an interview with them. They already are promoting the January 3rd event, and also they're airing the story about Shannon Baskin, this sad, what I consider to be a murder. They're going to be airing that story later this evening. They had my anonymous friend on today, and we kind of took care of that this morning. So it's been one thing after another, as you guys all know. We're going to continue to do our best to continue to air these stories up until January 3rd. Right now, we're doing an interactive. So anybody that I know you guys are really wanting to have your stories told, please bear with me. I do the best I can to read through a plethora of messages per day. They just keep coming in. I have two of my advocates on right now, and they know what it's like because they receive nonstop messages as well. All your stories are important to us. All of you are important to us. We are doing everything we possibly can on our end. And just know that we are mere human beings, even though Charlene does have angel wings. I see in her photo here. Pretty cool outfit she's got there when you guys get a chance to see her profile. Charlene Angel Astro. So just, bear with us, guys. That's all I can tell you. I do want to say something. A lot of people are reaching out to me regarding a couple of people and their nasty comments and so on. Listen, I am the type of person that I like to leave pond scum where it belongs. There's particular places for certain things. That's why there's swamps and sewage and things like that. And I like to leave it where it's at. It really doesn't take too much precedence to me because we have a gargantuan amount of people who are really harmed and hurt people out there that we are doing everything we can to help and unifying people to help one another. We do not profess to be anything that we're not. We're just human beings trying to do what we can to offer our help and assistance. And we do have a lot of knowledge. We do have a lot of contacts and connections and a wealth of experience that we're pooling together. But our voice is your voice and your voice is our voice. And really, we did not jump. This was kind of thrown at us. So what we're doing here, wanting you guys to have the voice you haven't had, is something that I really feel is God ordained. And we're just servants, really. That's all we are. We don't profess to be anything that we're not. We're not attorneys. Thank God for that. You should be very thankful that we're not. We do have a lot of attorneys. I do have attorneys on my board and so on. We do have people who are paralegals and so on, and all kinds of, have all kinds of expertise and backgrounds and so on and so forth. But we're just doing whatever we can per situation and per case and get your stories out there. And I believe we're doing something that's actually working. And I think that's why the trolls come out. And I know a lot of you that are advocating for years as well, you know that the trolls are going to come out. And it is what it is, guys. Don't let it, you have to have a thick skin for certain things. Have a warm and loving heart, an open heart for the people that desperately need help. Most importantly for these children. We're here trying to help children and families. We've experienced it ourselves. We have a heart for this. We have a heart of an advocate. Ted's been bashed. Everybody I know in this business has been bashed one way or another. You got to get to know each other on an individual level. Talk to people. When you have somebody busting on you all over your Facebook page or on their own, and they're not talking to you, or they're yelling at you for something, you go back and you check your chat message and you never had a conversation with them, it says a lot about those types of people. And I feel that it's important that I bring this out today in today's live, because I know a lot of you suffer from just arrogant people, or people that are emotionally charged right now because it is the holidays. And I do take that into consideration when I work with people, because I know that PTSD gets skyrocketed prior to, you know, the different holidays coming, because they're hurting for their children. But then there's others that cross the line so badly that they actually are harmful to something that we are all trying to do as we're trying to come together in a loving manner, caring for our fellow man and these children. And so they're not worth the time or the effort or the energy that you would be putting into them, when you could actually be putting this into people that you really can help, and so on and so forth, and are helping other people and genuinely care. Hurting is one thing, but being a nasty human being, that's something else. So enough said about that. Enough time wasted on that. Don't worry about me, guys. I know there's people out there bashing me. It is what it is. I really don't have time to waste on that. But there's too many of you out there that we can help, and that really have eyes to see and ears to hear, that, you know, we're here doing the best we can with what we have. And we're not trying to get famous. We are doing this because it actually fell on our laps. It's something that we have a heart and a passion for, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're nobodies. I mean, I'm a nobody. I am not anybody special. I'm just your next door neighbor, and that's all I want to be. I want to be here. I want to do this. This is something I want to do. The more messages I get, the more I want to be out here doing this every day, because I can't take it any longer. These children, knowing that they're harmed, knowing that they're abused, knowing that they're being killed, knowing that families are crying, and literally it's almost like if you saw people physically, you'd see bloodshed everywhere. You may not see that, but that's what it looks like to me. It looks like major massacres of warfare all over this earth, because of a very negligent system that we have to continue to expose. And you know what? Now national media is contacting us. They've been contacting us. I wasn't looking for national media, because we've all played the national media game where we've tried to get them to take our stories, and they'll take one in a million years. So we do it ourselves, guys, and this is what's working. So we have to do what's working. So today's episode is being broadcast for you guys to have a voice. I have two guests on right now. You're welcome to come on today so you can tell your story today. If you get on Zoom, I would need you guys to get on Zoom in order to be on here. It would be 829-085-5004. The ID is 829-085-5004 to get on Zoom today and tell your story. I know a lot of you are asking me, and sometimes this is the only way I can do it. I don't try to take one person over another. When I've got thousands of you contacting me through the night and day, like I said, I do the very best I can, and know that you're in my prayers, because everybody here are praying people, and we do pray about this, and we do have groups that are behind us that are actually praying for everything that's been happening. People that we don't even know have been praying, because I literally get emails saying, we're praying for you, we're praying for what you're doing. So on that note, I want to talk about Christmas right now. And while we wait for some of you to kind of join us here as well. Christmas, what I want to do, and Ted is in with me, we're going to pick a time. We don't know the exact time just yet at this moment. But what we want to be able to do for so many of you that have been alienated, and your children have been alienated, and it's so heartbreaking. We're hoping that this is going to help mend your heart a little bit on Christmas. So what we would like to do for you guys, and I feel would be very, just a beautiful thing to do, I would like to have you guys send me, excuse me, if you could do it and kind of limit, don't go too much, because it does get very difficult. I do get very lengthy emails that it's very difficult for me to get through. What I'd like you guys to do is send me one picture if you can, just one picture, either a group shot of your children, or if it's just one child that's been taken and stolen, put the amount of years, put the name, your name, put your child's name or children's name with their age. Keep it very simple. So photograph, your name, child or children's names with their age, and the amount of years that they've been stolen from you. What Ted and I are going to do on Christmas, hopefully earliest part of the day, we're going to see how we can work that out. We will keep you posted as we go. You'll be able to reach out to your family, and we're praying to God that they're going to see this, okay? And we want the world to see this. We want them to know what they've done to you. These judges are despicable. These judges are despicable. That's all I can say. I've sat and court watched in so many states. These judges, they've got to be inhuman, because normal people don't do what these judges do to people and families. When you hold families in limbo like this, when you push out court dates, when you don't listen, when you don't get the full dynamic, and you continue to do this damage to families and abuse these families and abuse these children and get hearsay in courts and act on that, and don't take in evidence, or take it in and don't act on it, you know, and don't reasonably assess these situations. Throw advocates out of courtrooms when an advocate is legally allowed to be there under our ADA laws, federal laws. Violate our rights all over the place, violate people's rights. Each and every one of you are always supposed to have people in the court with you. West Virginia is going to be in some massive trouble, because we do have a lot of contact and connections and attorneys that we're not going to tolerate what they're doing as they're gag ordering people. They're locking people out of courts. They're calling them closed courts because they say that it's abuse and neglect, which is nonsense. I've sat in courts with murdered children and abused children being placed. So that is not true. These are things that are not true. So these judges don't even know their own. They'll tell you that there's a penal code for it, or I'm sorry, that they'll tell you that there's not a penal code. They'll tell you that there's a statute, which is a bunch of nonsense. I wish Ashley Kirk was on right now, but he could verify this very clearly. But there's no statute. They can't even cite their own statutes. They don't even know it. It's like, you know, it's ridiculous. You know, you ask them and they don't even know it. Then they give you something and you look at it and you know that that's something that, first of all, that's easily appealed and easily knocked down flat. What they do give you in West Virginia, it's really, talk about ass backwards. Oh my goodness. A beautiful state. I love West Virginia. I've been going to West Virginia since the 80s. Absolutely, I love the beautiful state. When I go to a mother's house after I court watch for her and I see the gorgeous home she lives in and the beautiful land and the bedroom she has for her daughters, and then knowing the abuse that they're in and the neglect that they're in right now, and the judge is keeping everybody out so nobody can see what the judge is doing and what the caseworkers are doing. And then when I have a plethora of cases in the same county by the same judge doing the same thing to a ton of other people, and he thinks he's going to get away with it, I actually, it's almost comical. And then the fact that he doesn't turn over these children and open up their lives back to the love of their families. Because, you know, when these judges do this, they're not just harming one or the other parent. The children, forget about the abuse that he's caused, she or he has caused. These judges, they've caused tremendous, let me tell you, if these caseworkers and CPS had any clue what ACE's score was, Saunders' research was, everything that's incorporated into our Supreme Court and our federal court, okay? And I can't say that they know, because they're either very, very ignorant or very, very evil. And I have to say they're the combination of both. They would not do what they're doing, because the damages that they're causing these children is lifelong. And then it causes mass destruction to the entire family unit, to everything, every aspect of their lives. This is so urgently important because, and why January 3rd is so urgently important, which thank you, ABC News, Georgia News Channel 6, because they're already airing us. And I know that all these other medias, we have our press release coming out today. I'm going to ask all of you to blast our press release everywhere, because we're all doing this together. This is not about me. This is not about Charlene. This is not about Christine Radcliffe. This is not about Ted Fogg. This is not, we are just voices and instruments that are being used to bring everybody together. This is about everyone. This is about one nation under God. This is about one globe under God. This is about everybody. This is about all these children. This is not how we're going to continue to live. This is about our children and our children's children having a life and a future that is not going to be destroyed or tainted by government officials, public servants, judges in robes that need to be stripped of their power. Okay, that's what this is about, folks. This is not about one or two or three little trolls out there trying to harm something that we're doing and we will continue to do. They're not going to stop the hand of God. These little idiots out there, pond scum, okay? And all these other big groups that have been out there that I've been, groups, or like even the FBI and so on and so forth. Hey, listen, every dog has his day. The bigger they are, the harder it is for them to fall. When they fall, the harder it is. Okay, the larger they are, the bigger they fall. I mean, guys, when your voice and your unity becomes larger than the abuser, that's when David knocks Goliath's head right off. Okay, don't think that you are small. You are gargantuan in size. And this is something that I keep emphasizing. We have power beyond our understanding. Beyond. I had a pit bull years ago, Bella. She was a beautiful dog. And she had I don't even know what but a stake in the ground that went very, very deep into the ground, and a special chain and stuff, because she could kill somebody. She could kill somebody. She walked me. And she was territorial of me. So nobody could come near me. That's what those kind of dogs sometimes tend to do. And you've got to be really careful and be a very, very smart owner, very discerning owner of a dog like that. You have to, just be very smart about that kind of a dog, because you have other people's lives that would be in jeopardy if you didn't do things correctly. Well, one time my dog, I don't know how it happened, but her thing got loose. Okay. So, and she was free to go, but she's got power. She could kill you. Simple. She could take one bite and you're done. That's you guys. That's us. We have power beyond understanding. She did not know she was loose. She had no idea she was loose. So she didn't do anything. She had no clue that she was loose. You don't have any clue how loose you are right now. You don't understand the power that you have right now. I know for a fact that we've got judges shaking in their boots right now. Not just judges, we've got caseworkers that are scared. I've got stories that are about to come out. I've got caseworkers you're going to start seeing in the next couple of days, because we'll be working straight through Christmas. And by the way, I don't get paid for this, guys. So you can make fun of me. You can mock me all over Facebook. I don't care. I belong to him. You're not really coming against me. I have caseworkers who are ready to reveal what's happening in many counties. Okay, they're ready to whistleblow because consciences start to bother people finally. That's what happens. We've got a lot of scared people. David Boudbeau, watch his lives, okay? We've got U.S. Marshals ready to rock this. We've got oath keepers that are ready to hold ground because they took an oath that they actually believe in, that they put their heart and soul into. Okay. And then we've got the freakazoids that are out there. And you want to know what? Those are the ones that get exposed. Those are the ones. Let me tell you something. You look at the buildings in 9/11, nobody probably ever thought they'd come down. I'm not saying that's a good thing. That's a very horrific thing. My point is that anything that you see in this life is always subject to change. Always. And so something that may look, the Titanic, I'm sure they didn't think that would sink. Right? I'm sure that Goliath didn't think that little David could knock his head off and kill him with a little rock. You guys are David, and you think it's Goliath until you find out that you're Goliath, actually. So, okay, so there's a couple different things. Like I said, Christmas Day, I need you guys to send me one photograph, your name, how long your child or children have been gone, and the names and ages of your children, so that you can reach out to them on that day. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how much you miss them. If you watched David yesterday, he did a live on an alienated father. Unfortunately, I don't have his name in front of me right now. It was heartbreaking. And this guy really candidly told his raw story and how he was alienated as a child and how his father lied to him about his mother. So he hated his mother. He hated his mother. He didn't really hate her. It was love turned opposite. The hate that he was expressing was the hurt and the pain that he had for his mother. Like, how can you reject me? So all you moms and dads out there that think your kids hate you, honey, I tell you, they do not hate you. They hate what's happening. And they hate you thinking because they think you rejected them. Meanwhile, you're out there and you're doing everything you can, pounding the pavement 24/7, not sleeping, not eating, okay, suffering to try to get back to them again. Thanks to these diabolical judges. Judges, I speak to you because I know you're watching. You already admitted it in court. You're watching. You don't need your own handcuffs, honey, because I promise you, you won't need your own handcuffs. We had a judge mock us saying that he had his own handcuffs for his citizen's arrest. Let's talk about mocking. They are mocking narcissists, okay? I can tell you other stuff that judges are saying, okay? You're not going to need your own handcuffs for this. You know what? You're in your own jail cell right now. You're actually behind bars right now. You are actually behind bars, and you know it. You're in jail right now. You're living free, but you're not free. How could you be free? That's why you drug and drink. You drug and drink because your consciences bother you, because you're still created by God and there's still a conscience in there. It may be hardened. It may be horrifically evil, but you still have one. That's why you try to hide what you're feeling with your drugs and your alcohol. You're not fooling anybody. You know who you're fooling? Go take a look in the mirror. That's the person you're fooling. All you caseworkers out there that do this job, if you genuinely cared about children, you would never do this job. Any police that come alongside of you and go break into people's homes, especially without warrants, but a lot of these warrants are fake, or put innocent mothers and fathers in jail for protecting their children, one day you will meet your maker. And it looks like January 3rd, you're going to meet your maker. Okay? So let me explain a couple little things to you judges that are watching my show. You are really scared of what you've been doing to people. That's why you gag order people. That's the reason you think you can go after everybody, but you can't go after everybody. You can't. And we're a lot smarter than you too, because there's a difference between us and what you do. What we do is forthright and is protected by the hand of God. What you do is evil, and it will never be protected by the hand of God unless you repent of what you're doing. And then you may have a fighting chance. I can't say for sure. But I can tell you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You could change what you're doing. You're harming and trafficking people, and you're harming and trafficking children all over our country, all over our globe, in a position of power that we pay for by our taxes. So if you think that you actually can still continue to sit there and do this damage to families, you've been sadly mistaken. You're actually more deceived than I thought you were. So that's my little take to you guys today. I'm going to go to Charlene right now as I wait for others to come on. I know she has a lot to say about this. Charlene?
Hi, I'm Charlene Angelastro. I am a core team, and I'm also chapter leader of New Jersey for Punish for Protecting. Started this back in August, and we were just these little people out here that nobody knew who we were. Everybody started opening their mouth. Everybody started running around the web, and they thought we were crazy. We're the crazy ones out here. We're not. We're the voices out here, and we're hoping our voices are heard, and we're hoping you understand that. Okay, we're out here to unify. We're out here to bring everybody together that's in all these little groups that have thousands in it. Come on, man, jump in with it. We're punished for protecting, but we're also all human. We're all fighting the same fight. We need everybody unified. Please, even if you don't want to open your mouth, even if you don't want to hit our likes, even if you don't want to stand up, please just look at yourselves. Look at what you're in. You're still behind that computer typing, which is getting you nowhere. Step out. January 3rd, get away from the keyboard. Keyboard's getting you nowhere except stuck in that same 1,000 people. Bring those thousands away from the keyboard. Bring them out in the public. Bring them out with signs. Bring them out on your page. Bring it out. Don't keep it in that little tiny box anymore. It's getting nowhere in that box. Christmas is present time. We're sharing. Give that box. Get that box and open it. Open that little box you got. That's going to be the best gift you can give yourself for Christmas. Open that little box. You're going to see how big that present's going to be when everybody opens that little box, because that little box right there is everybody's voice that needs to come together on thousands across the world. Come on, guys. All we're asking you to do is stand up on January 3rd together, united, every group, everywhere. That's all we're asking. One day, let's show our voice. Let's show our power. I believe in Trump. I believe in the people. I believe what Trump is doing right now is our ticket. If we don't do it right now and bust this through with Trump, I don't know what's going to happen after this, and that scares me. Okay, that's scary. Trump is saying we are the people. We are saying we are the people. Family court is now we are the people. This is it. We're done. I have 2 swords out on that, Angel, for a reason. My swords are protecting my children and everybody else's children. Those wings are flying. My wings have been flying all around this globe. Years, 15 years I've been flying around this globe in this little box. Do you know where I got? The same place I am right now? No, I got bigger than this box. We all are going to be bigger than that little box on January 3rd. Get the hell out of the little box and come on out with us. Okay, guys? I got to go now because PTS will kick my ass. See ya.
Thank you. That was awesome. All right, who's still with us? Don't leave me here all alone, please. At 1:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We love you, Shar, is what I was saying. I'm sorry, I muted myself. I was saying, if you don't mind, we could show an intermission clip.
Oh, okay. Do I have hers?
I would believe Lara's or Jessica's. Or
Okay. Lara, it is.
And then we'll go on to Christine Ratcliffe.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait, where did it go? It's right here. Where did it go? There it is.
Hi. The reason for this video is to implore and encourage all of my friends, family and acquaintances to not purchase anything, zip, zero, zilch, nothing. On January 3rd, 2018, we are protesting Family Court and the fact that they do not stand up for the best interests of children, and also that CPS, Child Predator Services, is not doing what's in the best interest of children. I hope you'll join me and Punish for Protecting January 3rd, 2018. Please message me if you have any other questions. Cheers. Bye-bye.
That's so short and sweet. She did a great job on that.
She's fantastic. I love her. Lara, if you're watching, we do love you. So what we're going to do is, if anybody wants to join, I'm going to be putting Christine Ratcliffe here in a second. But if any of you guys want to tell your story, now's the time, guys. There's two ways you can come on. You can go to zoom.us, download the link if you don't have it. Shouldn't take too long. Or if you already have it, you can join by entering 829-085-5004. 829-085-5004. Otherwise, you can call in the old-fashioned way, 1-408-638-0968. Again, that's 1-408-638-0968. We would love to hear your story. And now I'm going to go to Christine Ratcliffe. Now, she's not just our chapter leader for Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, but she's also the mother of the YouTube sensations, the Mound sisters, who have been put through literal hell. Their family has been put through literal hell. Another neglectful, negligent court and child predator services, evil invasion of family life. Invasion, guys, invasion. And yes, I am very happy about what Donald Trump is doing. Like I said, our group went down. Our group spoke with Kellyanne Conway. We had a wonderful time down there. I was down there with Missy McDonald. I was down there with Lori Nicholson. I was from Parental Alienation, Pennsylvania. She heads that off completely. I was down there with Tamara Sweeney, who's now got billboards up for Love Dominates. Love Dominates, very powerful, wonderful group. Hey, listen. Love dominates over this psychopathic hate, evil, and nonsense. And she talks about parental alienation. For anybody that doesn't understand that terminology, children should know about parental alienation, since they're the ones being alienated from their loving parent, caregivers, and vice versa. The parent is being alienated by a diabolical court decision, a haphazard, irresponsible court decision. Something that is so inhuman. So we were down there, and we were down there with actually Missy's grandmother, who hasn't seen her own grandchildren. I mean, when you think about what these judges do, how did we ever allow this? And so when I actually called down there because I worked with William Washington. He's actually Donald Trump's or I spoke with William Washington. They treated us like we were royalty while we were down there. We've got all the pictures on Facebook and on my website. And Bill Washington, William Washington, is a wonderful person. If you're watching, hello, big shout out to you. He is actually Donald Trump's manager of his hotel in Washington, D.C., in the restaurant. You know, and they background check everybody. Everybody is very, very, it's for the president. What a wonderful man. I just have to say, I called him the other day. I literally called him. So we were down there. I want to say we were down in October. And I called him less than a week ago. I just picked up the phone and called him. He answered. He goes, Francesca. It was like I was his best friend. I mean, we talk about, this guy sees millions of people. And I was like, wow. And we spoke for, 45 minutes. He said that the administration would support this 100%. And just gave me a bunch of different information of what to do and so on and so forth, because we do plan on having another trip down there. We have a presentation that's finally been finished for President Trump that we're working on to get to him. But one of the things we're going to be doing, guys, and it's also on my Facebook page, and we're doing this because Sandy from our Canadian chapter leader, if you guys are from Canada, you can actually get on there, our Punished for Protecting Canada Coalition. Sandy heads that off. She's under Sandy McDonald, but she's actually guides her. And she came up with an idea for Canada, which we're going to do here as well. So basically what we're doing is we haven't had a letter drawn up yet, but we will draw up a letter that you guys can use generically, or you can do your own. And basically on the 3rd, another thing we're going to do is we're going to blast email out this particular letter. And we have different venues and emails that we're going to have everybody send out on January 3rd as well. The 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, right around that. So that's done so that they get them at the same time. So that's just another great idea. These are things we can do as part of the teamwork. So they'll be doing that in Canada. People take on that too. And I also have Ezekiel. Ezekiel is chapter leading out of Missouri. He actually grabbed Uganda. So now we have a Uganda chapter. Guys, we have a South Africa chapter that's led off by, and you can check it out. If you click on the Punished for Protecting Advocacy Networking group page, you can click onto any of these links and you can see New Zealand and you can see, I'm trying to think, and we have Australia and so on and so forth. So South Africa, which is headed off by Vincent. So guys, this is getting worldwide attention, and it is the 22nd. We are getting closer. We are fastly approaching. So we need all of you to continue to trump this message, to continue to share these videos, to continue to share the memes and the GIFs and all the stuff on Facebook and just the message. Get it out there. Get your voice out there. You don't need my permission to do a video. Do it. Tell your stories. Okay. People are watching. They are watching. Okay. You talk about the U.S. Marshals being in hot pursuit of Sandra Grazzini-Rucki. Well, guess what? They're in hot pursuit of us right now because they're running. They're scared. Guys, they're scared. Okay. I have a lot of inside information. Okay. And we are getting high respect. Okay. Which is what we deserve as a nation and a globe. We deserve to be respected. We deserve to respect one another. Okay. Enough of this infighting nonsense. I think we're doing a good job destroying that demon, but we're going to continue to destroy the rest of them while we go forward. Okay. Because Christmas people should not be without their children like this. This is horrific. Horrific. We're going to turn it over to Christine Radcliffe. Christine, you're unmuted.
Hi, guys. This is Christine. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, honey. You're loud and clear.
All right. I am Christine Radcliffe. I am the chapter leader for Nashville, Tennessee for Punished for Protected. I am also a victim of the CPS world that we're all in. Guys, I reach out to a lot of you guys on here and you tell me your stories, and it's like Fran says, not just my story matters. We're not in this for one person or two people. We're in this for everybody. And even if you're in a different state, I'm constantly praying for everybody. January 3rd is, a big date. I don't know if you guys watched one of my 3-second videos, but I put a lot of thought into it because I was arrested. I feel it was a malicious prosecution. I'm being punished. My girls are being punished because they're social media famous. And I seen my youngest last night as she brought Christmas presents for us, and her begging to be home by Christmas. And there were no words that I could tell her. There's no words that any of us can tell our children when they're asking, can they be home for Christmas? You know, there's no way we can have a system that comes in and takes our children and also going to try to reunify. How does that work? You know, there should be a separate system to work with parents in the reunification process, not just one. You know, I never put my children in harm's way. I was always in all my children's broadcasts. I was always there. They never went on tour without me and their dad. You know, we protect our children. We love our children. Our children are safe when they're with us. You know, the system's got to be reformed. January 3rd, that's our chance to get our voice heard. That is our chance for us to show people that don't know what's going on that they could be in this situation one day and not have their children. You know, and I'll be the first to admit, if somebody would have told me my story 2 years ago, I would have said, well, they must have done something wrong. But that's not true. And that's the people that we have to reach and let them know and get their support too, because it can happen to them. Children being adopted. Why aren't they working with the parents? January 3rd, guys, I really hope that it is a big turnout, and I hope that everybody says that they're participating does. I mean, a lot of people can say it. Actions speak louder than words, guys. Don't just say it. On January 3rd, don't buy anything. Buy it the day before. Buy it the day after. Nothing is that important. Is cigarettes more important than your children? Is a gallon of milk more important than your children, or putting gas in your car? Do it the day before. Guys, do this for all the kids, everybody. I'm doing it for every single parent out there, not just my own. Guys, I really hope to see. I will be doing video clips on my phone. I'm not going to go live. I'm not going to use the internet. But the day after, I'm going to have tons of videos to post from my phone. I'm going to be out there, and I will be spreading the word. And I hope that I have parents come up to me and talk to me. And if you do, be the voice. Tell them. Thank you, Fran.
Thank you, Christine. God bless you. I have Sheila Alam on. She's our singer-songwriter for our song Punished for Protecting that we played in the beginning. I usually play it in every episode now. Sheila, do you have something that you would like to say today? And by any chance, do you have video? Or no? I guess you don't today. But did you want to add anything today? And she may just be listening. Okay. So I'm going to go to Shelly. Hi, Shelly. God bless you. Thanks for being on.
Hi, Fran.
Hi, honey. Let's get your volume up a little bit.
Let me see if I can figure that out.
Good. That was good. Whatever you just did was clearer. You're good.
Okay. Is that better?
Yep. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I just hopped on here because I kind of missed the start of it. So, I haven't got my video out yet because I'm dealing with children right now, but I will get my 3-minute video out there.
Okay, when we're live on a broadcast right now, did you want to say anything to the world while they're watching? We've even got ABC News watching us right now.
Oh, really? Well, you know what? This corrupted CPS thing has to come to an end because, as an example, I live in Brainerd, Minnesota, in Crow Wing County, and it is completely wrong for a CPS worker to take your children without a chip case, without me signing a volunteer parental agreement, and the cops didn't even remove my children. These CPS workers are getting out of hand. They are not judge and jury. So it's kind of like I tell people, if it happened to me, how many other children here in Crow Wing County have been taken away from their parents without a chip case, without ever seeing a judge? I have never, ever talked to a judge. I mean, so they're getting by with way too much. So that's why I've been joining into all these groups, because it has to come to an end. You know, and unfortunately, Fran, we have not ever talked about why it's so important, but I also have to protect my 2 children too. So some things I just don't want to talk about on the air, but for a social worker to come in and look at me and telling my child, my oldest son at the time, he was 15 years old, that he had to go live with his dad. He could no longer live with me. Wrong. You cannot be stealing children without a chip case, without a parent signing a volunteer parental agreement, without the cops removing us. Because we're here in Minnesota, for the Minnesota Department of Human Services, the laws are, if CPS worker wants to remove children, it must be signed by a judge or the cops. And so this social worker, Melissa Peterson, just came in and just took my son and called up the treatment place where my twins were at and said I was not allowed to pick up my twins. You know, and then here I have the county attorney's office that actually helped me get my kids back. Do you think they would write me a statement saying, yeah, we called up social service, told social service to give Shelly her kids back? I mean, so everybody is hiding what actually took place. In the meantime, my 2 children are damaged by their criminal activity.
And I know your story because I had met you at the April 1st event in Washington, D.C. that I had fastly put together. And, you know, it was awesome meeting you down there and hearing your story. It was just unbelievable. And it's been years. I mean, this has been years of this abuse. You're a representative of parents that have dealt with this for years and years of abuse, which Ted is going to actually show a clip of a mom who actually lost her child right after we're done speaking here, Shelly. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, like the negligence of these judges and the limbo state that they put people's lives in. People ask me, citizen's arrest. Oh, we're going to put them in handcuffs. I mean, if they really paid attention, they'd see what we're actually doing here. But they've put you guys in handcuffs. They've arrested your lives. Arrest has a multi-meaning definition, okay? When you get pulled over by the cop, I hate to tell you, you've been arrested. You've been stopped. You've been detained. Your lives have been arrested right now. You may not have seen a jail cell, okay? But you know, what do you have to say about that, Shelly? The fact of the years of the negligence and the fact that you're an articulate, intelligent, good, decent person. You're not a criminal, yet you've been treated like one.
I have to agree. Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
I know.
But people judge me because this social worker came in and took my children. They think that I am crazy. No, I'm not crazy. You know, to me, it makes me sick to my stomach how many children are in Crow Wing County, Minnesota, that have literally been ripped out of their parents' arms without even a chip case, without ever, you know, going in front of a judge. And yes, I understand, because I also know Tori and I know Karen and Chris. You know, their stories are just as bad. You know, I have a girl that I met through my twins friend, and she's involved with a chip case. She's 15 years old. She was sexually assaulted. Are you kidding me? She was sexually assaulted in a non-licensed foster care home. Wake up, Minnesota. This is completely wrong. This girl, I call her my part-time daughter. And it breaks my heart that all these children have a worse life being involved with the CHIP case. It's wrong.
Minnesota sucks to the highest degree. Minnesota, I mean, Melanie Lindemann, Charlene Nelson. I mean, I could go on and on. Sandra Grazzini-Rucki. Listen, Minnesota is one of the most effed up states in the country. I think probably it and West Virginia. First of all, Melanie had CHIPS cases, but they were nonsensical. They weren't anything. I mean, just like typical child predator services, and the ignorance. And there's no talking to these people. There's no reasoning. There's no logic. The things that they do to save a child, if there was an issue, they compound it with severe abuse. So they give abuse to children because they're looking at something like this. Oh, you might have mold. Okay, well, let's go take care of the mold. No, let's rip the kids out and put them in a home and have them mutilated and beaten and sexually abused, because that's the answer. I mean, we've got these morons running the show. You know, I'm sorry, Sean. I know.
There's one thing I want you to know is I have a complaint with the Minnesota Board of Social Work. And yep, Megan Gallagher, if you're watching this, she actually called me up, I'd say about 3 or 4 months ago, and said that she might have to take Melissa Peterson's social worker's license away. But she goes, Shelley, I want you to understand the county would have to fire her immediately. And then under Minnesota DHS laws, the county can rehire her on the spot. Okay, how messed up is that? That is absolutely the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me though, because I mean, like I said, we're dealing with a class of ignorance that is beyond words. And that's what evil does. Evil continues to protect itself. It's almost like if you had a thief come in your house, why would you have the thief investigate themselves? They're going to sit there and they're going to skirt and they're going to lie and they're going to, you know.
I don't know. Every time these social workers open up their mouth, it's another lie. It's like they can't remember one lie from another that they said. And in April 24th of 2017, I got tired of looking at this social worker, and I looked at her and I said, you get your criminal blank out of my house now. I go, you did not have the authority to remove my children without a CHIP case, without me signing a volunteer parental agreement or the cops. I said, you need to get your criminal blank out of my house. You know, and that's when I decided enough is enough. But in the meantime, I am still struggling with what the social worker has done to my twins. I mean, I adopted my twins, but guess what? Their birth mom picked me out from day one. And I went through a private adoption agency, and my twins have fetal alcohol syndrome, and I'm still dealing with the issues of what the social worker did. You know, just 2 weeks ago, I'm in a mental health place asking them, why don't you have diagnosed my twins that they have fetal alcohol syndrome? And because of this social worker went and told one of these mental health workers that I forged the evaluation, it's like, are you kidding? So it's still affecting me. The stuff that she said in 2014 is still affecting me. And that's one of the reasons why I did this complaint, is because if a social worker wants to accuse me of forging documentations, she needs to first find the proof and charge me, not just make up and whatever her problem is. She is absolutely the most dangerous person I've ever met in my life. She's endangering all these children's life here in this county.
She is one of several in that county that are endangering the lives of children. There's a Lori in CPS in Brown County. That's another one. There's a Judge Westpaul. Again, these are judges that I, bringing forward that we actually have a pattern of abuses that are actually matching cases. So we've been outspoken regarding maybe one or two, but we've got tons of a pattern of abuse, which when you sue them federally and you've got this many, these judges have not a leg to stand on any longer because the negligence, and it does come out. I mean, obviously, when you see all over the news people who are finally getting exposed, getting arrested, judges going to jail, you know, they don't always get away with this. And now that we're coming together in monumental numbers, you know, it's going to be finally their day. It's going to finally be their day. I mean, I'm sure of that. That's one thing I can say. I'm sure of that.
Fran, how many people do you have where a social worker decides to be judge and jury? I mean,
that's
have
everywhere.
you heard of very many cases?
Oh yeah, that's everywhere. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It just depends on how the wind blows in that court that day. They don't follow any standard of law at all. It's just whatever they want to do to cover their tracks, and they all play a game. It's happening everywhere. Different things happen in different courts. I can court watch in the same building 2 different judges with very similar cases, let's say, and I'll sit in the back, and in one court, it'll go this way. In another court, it'll go this way. And it's always in the worst interest of the family. Always, always in the worst interest of the family. Because it's not about just the best interest of the child, because a child can't take care of itself. So that terminology, we already know what a joke that is. But it's not the genuine, like a normal human being would say, oh, what's in the best interest of this child? It's never like that. It has to do with the best interest of the family. It has to be about the family and the integrity of the initial family, and then the parents, the grandparents and the aunts, uncles, the friends, the acquaintances. Everybody gets affected by these judges and these CPS workers and the damaging, irresponsible decisions that they make. And then then this specialist comes in, and then we're going to have the guardian ad litem, and then we're going to have this doctor come in, and then we're going to have this therapist, and and they don't even know their own cases half the time. You walk in and they don't even know it. They're talking right before court. They're making a decision right after. Then they go talk to each other in another room without the parents involved. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's a big freaking game. It's a waste of time, money, energy, and it's destroying families. And it's up to us to put our foot down as one mass army. It's the only answer that we really have, is to put our foot down as one mass army against this system that is beyond corrupt. And when you do have a decent human being in there here and there that does come through, like you do find a decent attorney or a decent, they're up against these other morons. They're trying to pull it all together and clean it up. And they're successful many times, because finally somebody walks in with some reputation and integrity, and they kind of pull their acts together. I have seen that happening a lot lately, where they will start to pull their acts together. But the way they clean it up is that they'll have some supervised visits with the parent to wean the child back, so it makes them look good, like they really had a concern when they never did. They play this game instead of just returning the child back to where the child should go. So, but we are seeing success stories. It is beginning to happen. We have seen success stories. I have seen children come home immediate returns. And then I've seen gradual returns. So we are getting it. And out of some of the most rogue judges too, some of the most evil judges too, because they realize that finally we're not putting up with their garbage anymore. To answer your question, I do need to have Ted. He's going to go ahead and play. And I do appreciate Shelley very much.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Love you. And I give you a big hug through the screen.
Yeah, love you too.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shelley. Ted is going to play Dana. Sorry. Now I'm forgetting how to. Dana Lawhon. She did this 3 to 5 for me yesterday. And I'm not
sure where to. Do I already have that, or did you just send it to me?
If you scroll up in the Facebook chat, she would be the last video I sent you above John Gear's information.
Okay.
And that would be Dana Lawhon.
Let me get that.
Now, Dana is a mom. She's been doing this for over 20 years. Just to set the stage for what you're about to see, she did a 3 to 5 for me yesterday. And we're about to show you that, and she lost a child thanks to this corrupt system. So think about it now, 20 years later, and she's sharing her story. Heartbreaking.
Hold on. Okay. Let me pause this. Make sure I get it up here correctly. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, everybody, we're trying a new trick now. So now the victims of CPS, DHS, whatever you call it in your state, we're now banding together to do another protest. This time, what we're doing is, on January 3rd, 2018, we will make no purchases of any kind. Not gas, not soda pop, not nothing. We're asking if you want to show your support, buy your stuff the 2nd or the 4th, but avoid stores on the 3rd. This was the dream child, I guess you could call it, of Francesca. And in my opinion, I've tried everything else in the past 20 years. Why not this? If it works, it's worth it. If it don't, it didn't cost me anything, because all I gotta do is stay home and not spend money. Some people are actually staying home from work that day. I myself am not gonna have that problem, since thanks to DHS I can't get a job anyway. So no need to worry about me going to work. So I hope for all of our sakes that this dream child invention, imagination, creation, whatever you want to call it, of Francesca's, I hope it works. Because as bad as you people want your kids back, I want to know who's ended the life of my child just as badly. I've waited for 20 years. Some of you talk about how much pain you're in after going through this for 2 years. I wish I could say I'd only been doing this for 2 years and my son was still alive. I can't. I can't say yes to either one of those. There are many who know the names of the 2 men who are responsible for my son's death. But because Oklahoma government, Mary Fallon and all the rest of them, insist on protecting these 2 men, I'm still being denied my legal right to know, even though the law says, it's clearly written, the law says I have the right to know. But I'm still being denied my legal rights. Oklahoma government is denying my legal rights. Today, yesterday, last week, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and my son's legal rights in 1985. And as long as the 2 men who caused his death still roam free and never are prosecuted and continue to be protected, then my son's rights are denied over and over and over again. And it's not right. So I'm all in for January 3rd. I hope some of you who don't have the guts to do anything else at least have the guts to do this. Thank you.
All right.
So I want to reach out to you right now, Dana. I thank you for doing that 3 to 5. We need everybody doing these 3 to 5s. You see, it took her 3 to 5 minutes to do that live broadcast, and she tagged me in it.
Hi, everybody. I am here in Walmart, and we have...
Just went on to the next one. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. It happens to me all the time. So Dana, thank you for doing that, and my heart breaks with you. Your story is sadly representative of millions as well. Human rights, civil liberties being completely violated. And again, it all goes back to the same place. It goes back to the fact of negligent decisions being made against families. And now here's this mom 20 years later, utterly just despicable, utterly despicable. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, because if you don't have the guts to do something, it doesn't take anything for you to not spend money. Very simple. Now we have committees all over that are doing more than just that. We are doing protests all over. I and Ted decided that we're going to be with Joyce Catalano. Charlene will be joining us in Connecticut. We will be having that out soon, the exact location and so on, where we're going to be on January 3rd. But we will be, I believe we're probably going to be live broadcasting from our event specifically. But you guys that are not turning on the internet that day, God bless you. Do whatever you feel you want to do that day. We will be doing blast emails though, guys, and we're going to have that letter up. You don't have to use our letter. You can do your own letter, basically, but we're going to have email addresses for you to send out so we can blast mail. And it's just another simple process of something else that we're doing. I got attacked for it today by some woman I never spoke to. Don't ask me why, but whatever. This is what I mean, guys. And this is to all you advocates out there that work your tails off and don't just post things all day long. You're actually doing stuff. You're going to get these kinds of people out there, and there's not much you can do. If they don't talk to you like a human being and respect you for who you are, don't waste your time worrying about them. As for the rest of us that actually care and do everything we can, that's how you sleep at night. You did everything you would possibly do to help somebody, help people, help as many as possible. Again, Christmas, guys. Christmas, Ted and I are going to be, I want to collect all your pictures of your children. So if you can send me one picture, please, your name, how long they've been stolen, their ages, okay? And we're going to let you know close to Christmas, because a lot of times we have to act fast, close to Christmas, the time frame of when we're going to be live on a broadcast similar to this, showing your children. And then if you can hop on, that would be great. It would be the same passcode you see right now, 829-085-5004. So I tell you to please get your zoom.us downloaded to your phone or your iPad or whatever. So you're ready to come on. When it's your turn, you can do a shout out to your children. Let them know how much you love them. Let them know, because some of the, when they're alienated like that, they believe the lies that they've been told. Well, where's my parent? They don't know that some judge restrained you from all their records. They violated all your rights. All they know is that you're not in their life anymore, and that they're being told whatever they're being told, that's not true. They don't know that you tried to protect them. They don't know that you're fighting and you're not sleeping and you're not eating. They don't know that you're pounding the pavement every day. They don't know that you're in and out of different courts every day trying to find them and get to them, and that you're begging some moron demon judge in a robe for your children for any kind of access to them. They don't know this. So we want them to know that on Christmas, because on Christmas, I'm sure I know they're missing you. I know they're missing you. When they don't accept your gifts or acknowledge your phone calls, it's not because of you, and it's not because of them. Okay, like I said, there was please watch David Boubou's live from yesterday. Now I have a lot of people joining. You guys have phone numbers. You don't have names. You need to rename yourself. If you want to speak, we would love to have you speak right now. We also requesting all of you to please, today is December 22. We have very limited time to get this word out. We have very limited time to get this word out, to do your 3 to 5 live broadcasts. I see a gentleman right here, says Samsung SM. I do see you with a headset on. If you'd wanted to say something, the problem that we have right now is that I can't unmute you, and I don't have a name for you. So if you can put down in chat who you are, I can call on you somehow. Ted, is there another piece you wanted to show in the meantime, like a quick intermission?
Sure. We have a bunch from earlier in the week here.
Okay, and I know we have, so you can just show a quick intermission while I try to get somebody on here.
Okay.
I think, is that
go.
Brian Tracy? Nod your head up and down if it's Brian. Okay, Brian, we'll get you on for a 3-minute plug, honey. Thank you for being here.
I would like to welcome everyone out to family court today.
Don.
I am the Honorable Judge Roy Bean. I will be presiding over the destruction of your family. That's why we call it family court. The course of your trial will be very lengthy. These proceedings will not be a trial in the manner that you might expect. These cases will be conducted on a kangaroo court basis. During the upcoming months, I will be violating your rights left and right. So go ahead and get used to it now. I prefer for you to be as compliant as possible with all of my directives. You will have no choice because I will have plenty of backup. The police or sheriff's deputies are here to do all of my bidding. By the way, the cops will also provide backup for everything the CPS or DSS agents tell you. That's why they call them law enforcement. Actually, that is a misnomer because they will not actually be enforcing the law. They will be enforcing my orders. In reality, they will be violating the law as part and parcel of our family court racket. But that is just an aside, so do not quote me on that. In fact, do not mention or reveal to anyone what takes place during these proceedings. I am placing a gag order on you. I am ordering you not to reveal anything of my skullduggery or that of the CPS.
I can finish that up later if you guys want to continue.
Oh, no, we can watch the rest of it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone out to family court today. I am the Honorable Judge Roy Bean. I will be presiding over the destruction of your family. That's why we call it family court. The course of your trial will be very lengthy. These proceedings will not be a trial in the manner that you might expect. These cases will be conducted on a kangaroo court basis. During the upcoming months, I will be violating your rights left and right. So go ahead and get used to it now. I prefer for you to be as compliant as possible with all of my directives. You will have no choice because I will have plenty of backup. The police or sheriff's deputies are here to do all of my bidding. By the way, the cops will also provide backup for everything the CPS or DSS agents tell you. That's why they call them law enforcement. Actually, that is a misnomer because they will not actually be enforcing the law. They will be enforcing my orders. In reality, they will be violating the law as part and parcel of our family court racket. But that is just an aside, so do not quote me on that. In fact, do not mention or reveal to anyone what takes place during these proceedings. I am placing a gag order on you. I am ordering you not to reveal anything of my skullduggery or that of the CPS or DSS workers. If you violate my order, I will have the cops put you in jail. They will gleefully do my bidding at all times. They are the enforcers in this very large criminal enterprise. I will also have complete judicial backup in the event you have the audacity to appeal any of my decisions. The judges over me will condone everything that I do. We are all in it together, so to speak. Money is a great motivator, and we are all after it. These proceedings, as I mentioned, will be quite lengthy. It will be so by design for two purposes primarily. Our aim in general is to extract as much money as possible from you for the benefit of myself and my fellow actors. Also, by dragging it out, it will help you to become accustomed to not having your children. Eventually, I will terminate your parental rights. We call it TPR. Although all of our proceedings will be conducted on a kangaroo court basis, do not even begin to think of it as a Mickey Mouse operation. Our very well-constructed racket garners for us hundreds of billions of dollars. This money is taken from the Social Security Trust Fund, so we will get the money, and this is big-time business. Unbeknownst to you, the attorney you have hired will be colluding with myself and the CPS or DSS workers. That is what makes our operation so smooth. Just to give you a friendly heads up on what to expect, you in all likelihood will become a pauper. You will spend all of your money trying to get your kids back, which will be an exercise in futility. You will not have a chance. It is kind of like the old arrangement of throwing a Christian to the lions. As we conduct our business, do not mention constitutionality, as that has no place in my courtroom. And I will tell you that in a heartbeat. Your so-called constitutional rights will be violated with regularity. As you have already noticed, I will be violating your First Amendment rights, the so-called freedom of speech. As I mentioned, there will be no jury trials. So your Seventh Amendment rights under the Constitution of the United States will equally be ignored and violated. Even if you request or demand a jury trial, I will deny that to you. That has already been arranged by design. Also, there will be no adherence to due process. You will not be allowed to defend yourself or prove your innocence. If I were to allow that, it would be crystal clear from the cold record that we have no case to stand on against you. So that will not happen. If you fail to comply with any of my court orders and fall behind on paying us the money that I order you to pay, I will also violate the constitutional prohibition against debtor's prison. I will put you in debtor's prison in a heartbeat. The coming months or years, as it may become, will be very stressful for you. Just to give you a friendly heads up, some of you your moms, dads, and your children will commit suicide. I do not encourage that, but I realize that frequently happens. Let me make it perfectly clear. We are not meaning to take your life. We just want to take all of your money. So that completes your orientation. Have a nice day. All rise and let the trial begin.
So, of course, I have to say something about that. Now, Don did a phenomenal job. The president actually acknowledged that, responded to that. And also, that yesterday that had 77,000 views. I think it has like 78,000 views now and counting, and that doesn't include all the other venues he's been on. It's phenomenal. I mean, it says it all. It says it all. The thing is that I want to kind of touch on something. I don't know how many of you understand this. Christians understand this. Probably other religions understand this. The Jezebel spirit, I feel, is the judges, and then the Ahab, which is the one that gets controlled by everything, would be like all the players in the game. But then you've got like the police that come alongside and just kind of do whatever, like the little puppets. They're the eunuchs. Eunuchs means that you've been castrated of all your reproductive organs. And they were men that were completely castrated of their reproduction, which means that you are no longer a man. I am not saying this against men in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying this against the type of men that would allow themselves to be castrated and have their reproductive organs not reproduce and just do whatever somebody tells them to do. You do not want to be a eunuch being controlled by Jezebel. You do not want to be that. You weren't put here on this earth to be controlled by Jezebel. She was not considered as evil as Ahab. Ahab had an opportunity to actually stop her and be the headship of her and be the man. And instead he let her rule him. And if he opened his mouth and did the right thing, it's called being spineless, being weak and being spineless. We're not spineless in this. We're not going to let Jezebel have her way. We're not going to let the eunuchs be castrated anymore. We're not going to even allow Ahab, because actually God called Ahab more evil than Jezebel for not stepping up and not taking the position. And there's two things in every single nationality in the world and in every religion: head of household. Let me tell you what head of household is. It's when the man under God protects the woman and she feels safe in his life to be able to have family and be protected in that godly ordained union and unit and way of God created us to be. Sadly, that's not happening. Everything is completely upside down. It doesn't mean that the man beats the woman and controls her life, which is what a lot of people say. It means that he's her protector, he's her provider, not forced to pay child support. I don't mean that. And a lot of people might not like me for saying this, but too bad. if listen, ladies, if a man is a quote unquote deadbeat, that you want to call him a deadbeat, why are you going after him for child support in the first place? If he's that type of a person, why would you even go after him for that? That means he isn't going to pay child support. So why would you? So a real man is going to just pay for their children, and a real woman is going to pay for their children and support them and come together and do what you need to do. So child support is one of the most biggest evils out there. It's just paying a system that's evil and diabolical. So instead of going out calling people deadbeats and such, and women can be deadbeats too, why would you go after them for child support? That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't even comprehend why you would do that. If they're a deadbeat, that means they're not going to pay for your child. They're not going to acknowledge your child. They're not going to, your child together. They're not going to support that child. They're not going to care about their medical needs. They're not going to care about their clothes or shoes or anything like that. They're going to care about drugs, alcohol, or whatever they're doing out there. So leave it, let it go. Let it go. Your best bet is to let that go. I mean, my opinion, I could be wrong about that. Instead of feeding into a system that's just stealing from the world and harming your children. Do you have something to say about that? Am I putting that good?
Yeah, no, that's decent. That's okay. There are people who, walk away from marriage or a relationship after contributing to a child, and they want nothing to do with that child, and there is some responsibility there, and that's generally kind of where we get child support. But then there's what's happening in the last 20 years, especially even the last 40, since 1970 when no fault divorce was created, but more so since 1997, after these incentives were created. There's more and more men fighting for equal rights to their parents, and they were successful in the early 90s. The courts gave them the permission to waste and litigate away all of their money. They were more than happy to do that. And now what we're seeing is more and more men fighting to be in their children's lives, and they don't want to pay child support. They want to support their children. But above that, it's not just men right now, because since the 90s, we have, and men's equal right to litigate their money away, we have seen more and more women lose custody. And in my research, trying to find census reports, anything above 2010 is non-existent, because we all remember the census report is going around in 2010. I remember because I was dodging them like crazy. That was my first or second separation. But everything from the census report today is based on 2010. So you look at like that 17% of men that have custody, that's it. It's really not 100% accurate, but pouring over website after website after website, you find some statistics. One I found of 2013 said 31% of men are getting custody, and I clicked on their reference of that number, and it sent me back to the 2010 census report. And I thought, well, is this a new number? So I did the math myself, and again, I came up with 17.5. The biggest problem we have as a community is finding correct information, because the last census report was done in 2010. Family court, juvenile court, that whole child welfare system will not give us any information. You cannot find it. I mean, they don't even keep track of how many people are in jail for non-payment of child support.
There's that, and then there's also the fact that there's genuine domestic violence, and I'm getting so many men right now that are literally been victims of domestic violence too that are coming out, and I'm very proud of them for doing that because I know that that's not an easy thing to do, and I am very much for mothers and their children, and we are the ones that carry those babies in our wombs. And no man can ever know what that's like, you know, but I'm not picking a side in any way, shape, or form because women are paying child support all over the place too now in an extremely crazy. You know, look at Sandy. Oh my God,
that's insanity.
Rocky. I mean, and moms that are on here right now that have had to pay child support when they don't even have an income.
I'd love it if you could get Diane Lyons on your show.
We can definitely.
If she would actually speak, it's very hard for her to talk publicly, but her story is what kind of tipped the scale for me from this 84 whatever percent. To no, this is more equal than we know. It doesn't matter about gender.
More equal, and that's exactly right. That's what we try to really get you guys educated on the fact that, you know, and also I just see it happening like it's pro-criminal. It's a pro-criminal organization. I want to be able to get these last two people on right now. I don't mean to I don't want to cut anybody off, but I do have Brian Tracy on here right now. Brian, we were able to get Brian and his wife. I'm very, very happy about that. Brian and Lori Tracy. He actually has my lawyer, one of my wonderful lawyers. I have a wonderful attorney. And so we went and signed the retainer the other day together. And they have major ADA violations all over the place. Brian, if you could just do a quick 3-minute plug, sweetheart, I'd love it.
Yeah, how you doing, Francis? How are you, everybody? How's it going? I've been having trouble having my kid for 15 years. I'm from Rockland County, New York. I had Judge Warren and Judge Rachel Tangway. I finally got a good lawyer now. Just it's been hard for me around Christmas time for the 15 years, and you know it's getting too much. I want my daughter home where she belongs, and I want everybody else to have their kids back. Everybody else, I'm praying for me. I'm praying for everybody else. I had legal aids, 6 legal aid lawyers. Amy Finch, Lynn Winchester, Gary Eisberg, Christine Siganik, Ellen Wood, and Jeff Schoenberg. They do nothing for me in court. They made up lies about us, and we don't deserve this, and nobody else doesn't deserve to have their kids away from innocent parents. They don't, and that's how I feel. And I think it's time to give these people a little push. And I'm waiting for January 3rd. I'm waiting for John. I'm not going to sit at home, man. If I have to meet with Charlene, I mean, I just want this done. You know, it's getting too much. Thank you.
Brian, thank you so much. So Brian and Lori have a learning disability, and so their ADA rights were violated all over the place.
I would like to welcome everyone.
Oh, they do not have a criminal history at all. She has an immaculate record. Brian, I'm going to go ahead and just share this a little bit. Brian did have a drinking problem way back, way back. Nothing that has affected his child in any way, shape, or form. The mother had nothing. They took her. It's been 15 years. And there's nothing on them. There's zero on them. And they just try to just manipulate the whole system, and they violated all their ADA. If anybody doesn't know what that is, American with Disability Act. And it's very serious. This is very serious that even our federal government is ignoring the ADA, which is the federal government. So come on, people. We need to fight for these types of cases, really above all, because it has to do with everybody's case, really. Because when they take your children, they automatically, even if you didn't have a disability of any kind, you automatically get a disability the second they take your children. And the second they take your children get a disability that very second. Social science research proves that. Your ADA rights are violated at that moment. They cannot take children from loving, fit parents. And when they do that, they violate it. And now you have an ADA lawsuit against them. So we need to compound the ADA lawsuits against these judges who are suable. We will get into that at another time, but Kirk talks about it. They are very much suable. They are not immune. They do not have immunity, people. They are not immune. They're held at a higher standard than we are. A higher accountability. They've just been lying to you for years, and we're going to show them just where they've been lying to us as we've been suing them all over the country, and we're going to continue to sue them. One thing I want to do eventually is pull all these lawsuits together and do one national lawsuit. So that's something that we're planning to do too. I have Joy on the phone. Thank you, Brian. I have Joy. Joy, are you able to show yourself, start a video here, or just go the way you are?
Hello.
Hi. There you are, honey. Hi, Joy.
Hi.
If you would like to do a 3 to 5 plug, that would be awesome.
Basically, my 2 children were taken from me in Albemarle County, Virginia. A lot of people know about Albemarle County because that's where Charlottesville, Virginia is located, with all the recent, protests and everything going on down there. And it's been about 5 years now since I've seen my kids. And I was never convicted of anything. I was put through the rigmarole of a psychological evaluation, supervised visitation, therapy. I had to go through that. I think it's kind of a racket they have set up down there with a circle of security therapy that they have with the county. And when I refused to finish the therapy because I didn't think it was really, as a patient, I felt like I had a right to go and say, hey, I don't need to take this therapy. It's not working for me, and go get therapy elsewhere. And then my visitation was taken from me completely, but my rights were never terminated. So as I commented in the chat that I'm still paying child support, my ex-husband got full custody of the kids, even though in the beginning of our case, he was cited as the abuser in our relationship. And then he took the children and moved them to Alaska last year. So now I'm fighting in Alaska to see my children.
Wow, so now you have to go to Alaska. Speaking of Alaska, too, I have people from Alaska wanting to start a chapter. Guys, yes, go for it. We need you guys in Alaska, because I'm seeing that there's a lot of problems in Alaska. I'm blown away. I'm literally blown away, all these countries that are reaching out. So now you're going to Alaska to fight for your children. You have to actually go to Alaska.
I've been twice already.
I am beyond words right now. And what are you paying in child support? And is it the legal 17% requirement, or are they violating that too?
Actually, in Alaska, it is 27% of your income automatically. It does not matter. 27% of my income now is going to be paid to Alaska child support.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. I wish you guys could see how these messages come in. I wish you guys could just see, literally, I don't know if you guys can see how these just pump in all day, all night. They just see my thing going.
Yeah, you can see them now.
This does not stop. It's 24/7, guys, 24/7. And the point is that, and so if anybody gets upset with me for not answering you right away, please, I try to acknowledge. Don't be mad at me. I am human. I am not God. I am human. I am just human. So I have something Tina Mello just sent me, and I'm going to send it to you right now. I'm going to try to send it to you right now, Ted, that I'd like to have aired before we wrap up here. Joy, thank you for your story. Everybody today that's been on today, thank you for your story. Shelly, Joy, Christine, Charlene, Brian, and Lori. We had a few others that I don't have on right now. And then all those that we showed the clips. I want to show this one. This is actually Tina Mello. She's partnered with us. She's a designer. She's doing the Indigo Justice League and partnering with Punish for Protecting. Please watch this. 121 messages just in the past 15 minutes.
Very clear in the room, get to know the feeling of liberation and release. Hey now, feel the war between us. No, they won't win, they're gone. Feel the war between us. No, they won't win. Don't dream it's over. Hey now, it's over. Hey now, hey.
some interesting audio, but it was good.
So she's great. Tina's a designer. She's extremely creative. The woman is brilliant. She speaks every language, and she's a paralegal.
Oh, that's right.
She lost her children in 2 countries when she had custody in 2 countries, and I'm blown away by her. I'm literally blown away by her. She's partnered with us. She's got the fashion industry involved right now. My son's going to be one of her models.
Awesome.
I'm very impressed with you, Tina. I know you're not actually on right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
My internet kind of kicked there. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we are really getting support from so many different places. We appreciate listen, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we appreciate you, national media, that are wanting to start picking this up. There's going to be a lot more of you because I have my press release completely done at this point. I'm going to be blasting it and asking you guys to blast it everywhere because we need to get this out, guys. It's December 22nd. We're going to wrap this right now. We're going to end it with our normal, the same way we did last time. But guys, share this far and wide. We need to make this viral. We need as many involved as possible. No matter where you go, tell everybody. If they don't understand you, explain it again. Explain it again. We have mass problems, and it's going to affect, it is affecting everyone. Listen, no one's exempt from this. This is affecting everyone. This is Hitler continued. It's just in a different venue. It's Hitler continued. We need to continue to trump this message. We need to continue to support each other. Get these videos out there because it is urgently important to let everybody know what we're doing on January 3rd. There should be no shopping. Every country that is involving in this, do not spend money. I don't care if there's 10 people in your community. Don't spend money on that day. It doesn't matter how small you are. Just don't spend money on that day. That's part of what we're doing. That's the first part of the arrest. We are working on the other parts that don't affect you. They affect you, but they don't affect you. Show those children, please. Can you show those children?
Yes, I'll figure this out here.
Joy, I'm going to unmute her.
There we go.
And speaking of that, I'm trying to unmute you, Joy, but it's not letting me. Did I? Those are Joy's children. There we go. Go ahead, show them again and hold it still and talk if you talk. Here's 2 children right here. Those are Joy's children. Go ahead and say what you want to say, Joy, and then I'm going to wrap up with the Christmas.
I just love and miss them very much, and I hope they know someday how much I'm spending, how much time and money and effort I'm spending to get back in their lives.
What are their names, honey?
Mary Claire and Vaughn.
And what are their ages?
10 and 6 now. They were 5 and a year and a half when this started.
I'm so sorry. This is what we're doing, guys. So on Christmas Day, exactly what she just did. I need you guys to have one picture like this. It's going to be the Christmas project. Ted and I are doing this on Christmas Day. Okay, I want one picture just like this. You're going to get on the Zoom link. You're going to get on here, 829-085-5004. You don't need to actually send it to me. Actually, I think it'll be a lot easier to do it just like she did. If you get on the Zoom link with your child or children, you're going to say what you want to say just like she did. I'm going to give each person a few minutes to reach out to their children. This is what we need to do to show these diabolical, demonized judges what they've done to these families. And so you can reach out to your children and tell them how much you love them on Christmas this year. And we're praying to God this is the last Christmas you'll ever go through this again. Okay? Because January 3rd is going to put a stop to all of this abuse to families. No family left behind. It doesn't matter. No family left behind. Families that have problems, there should be better ways that a civilized nation should be able to handle that. Not the way they've been doing it. What they've been doing is barbaric. Joy, thank you. Thank you for that. I'm sorry. I want to hug each and every one of you. So the Christmas project, be sure you guys got the zoom.us link downloaded. You're going to come on here. Ted will have it broadcasted on 5 different venues, and then it will go out and it'll be televised in my stations. I've got PA-TV, I've got Delta TV, California, I've got PTA TV is Long Island, New York, I've got Panda TV, Dutchess County, New York, I've got Minnesota something, I don't know what the codes are in front of me right now, and I've also got New Paltz, New York. So after all of this, the TED shows doesn't need to be edited, mine usually do, and then they're ready for TV viewing. But thank you guys. So don't forget the Christmas.
One more thing, my wife would like to say something. Brian, my wife would like to say something real quick, okay?
Have Lori come on and just hold on a second though. Hold on. The Christmas project is your photo of your children their names, their ages, how long they've been missing, and then you as a parent will tell them how much you love them and whatever you want to say in about 3 to 5 minutes on Christmas Day. Go ahead, Lori. This is Lori Tracy Bryan's wife.
Hello, how you been?
Good. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
What did you want to say, honey?
They took my kid for 15 years, and they didn't give me a chance to be a mother. They should have, CPS should have just left me alone and not harass me and everything while I was in the hospital. And that's what they did to me.
So we know that they violated your ADA because you have a learning disability, but you're high functioning. You guys live a fine life. You've been, and also what about, Lori, what about the fact that you raised some of your own nieces and nephews all your life?
Yeah, I did. I raised my 5 nieces and nephews, my godchild since he was newborn.
And CPS
I raised him.
So, all right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Let's not forget the Christmas Project on December 25th. We will be, you'll just keep an eye on the page, please, because I'll have a time for that for you guys. So please be ready for that. Those of you that want to, you don't need to send your pictures in. We're going to do it just the way Joy did it. We're just going to have you guys hold up your photo, and we'll air it, and you can tell your children how much you love and miss them, so that they realize that you've been fighting for them, that it is that the judges have been lying, and everyone else that's been playing with the judges, their evil game, has been lying to your kids. And hopefully this will get the attention that it needs. And again, everybody, January 3rd, 2018, the day that we shut it down, we arrest the globe. We do no shopping whatsoever. Keep your committees going. Find out where you're going to be on that day. If you're going to be protesting, decide if you're going to be working or not. Many people have already taken off work. I've gotten lots and lots of businesses that are completely shutting down. I've got restaurants that are shutting down. I'm blown away. I'm blown away at the amount of countries that we have joining us. So God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, Ted, for doing this today.
Just please stop yelling at me, please.
Call 911 now! Get up, stand up.
What's dear to me is dear to my God. I can't shed more tears, I know it's time to fight. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let's be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best. Punished for protecting them. Where is the justice in all that? Our voices rise because our love is deep. Return the innocent, hear our hearts beat, hear our hearts beat. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let us be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let us be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best. It's time to remove the mask. For once, let us be honest. We parents will not step back. Our children deserve the best.